Oh god. What the fuck? I'm alive. Oh, wow. It's been a while, hasn't it? Okay, yeah, I'm back to update you guys on my game that I talked about in the last video, in which I introduced it and its concept. Clicker Tycoon, which, if you didn't watch, is essentially a clicker game that is also a tycoon game, and that bridges that gap, trying to get the best out of both worlds. So here's my progress and all of the things that I've done since last video, and I also want to show some improvements and things that I need to improve in the last half of my development cycle. The main thing I want to talk about in this video is the systems that I've developed for the game and so far, and how much of a pain in the ass they have been to get working, and how it may have been entirely futile for me to do all this extra work. Yeah, seriously. I also want to talk about some of the realizations I have had in the making of all this, and how these newfound realizations have shaped my expectations. So let's talk about the systems, and why I've been having trouble with them. I mean, it's just a game about clicking a button, right? But again, this is a tycoon game as well. What I've been trying to set up in this game is a system that allows for the player to build up multiple different streams of click income. And yeah, the currency in the game is quite literally clicks. Setting up the button was easy, but everything else after that has been complicated. Because of this newfound system, I wanted to make the system complicate the gameplay. I wanted the player to kind of build their own kind of unique tycoon system. This would be completed by adding new employees to work in the designated cubicles around the map that is surrounding the button. And that's where my fun problems began. I tried implementing it in a million different ways, and I mean, luckily I got it to work now, somehow. But it was definitely more difficult to try and create this type of system, this type of like class system than I expected. But yeah, I have it working. After tooling around with it a little bit, it works. For now, like I said. Funny thing about all of this is that my good friend and fellow YouTuber, Baze, told me that after I've been telling him all about my troubles, he gave me a link to a website that makes clicker games for you. Yeah, that was great. Thanks, Baze. Thank you, you fucking bastard. Anyways, so I think I've made some sufficient progress on this, on my current game prototype, despite me getting stuck with this whole cubicle system I've been working on. But this has made me realize that some of what I have talked about in my previous video was probably a bit too much for me to do within the time remaining. So I am once again going to narrow down my scope for the game and focus on the essentials of the game and what makes it work. And if I have extra time to do other things, then so be it. With this realization in mind, I want to reiterate everything that I think is necessary for the game to be functional and somewhat clean looking. For one, I need to do some work on the game to make it work fully. Like right now, it works to a certain degree, but some of the units I have created right now are still not entirely fully developed and fully autonomous. I do have 3 units so far. 2 of them seem to be working fine. The last one I'm working on, the click miner, who takes a long time to get these clicks, is giving me the most trouble, and I'm thinking I just need to retool the system a little bit to get it to work. Next, on my obvious to-do list is doing some artwork on the starting page and a little bit on the purchasing menu, because right now it's a little bland and really doesn't have any artwork. Really, honestly. I mean, it just has the buttons. But yeah, that's it for what I think is essential to the game. But as for my bonus stuff to make the game a bit extra, some of the ideas that I mentioned in my previous video are just completely out the window. Like the dialogue system and the upgrade system are cool ideas, and I still want to learn how to do those things. But I think the thing I want to keep working on is the ticking clock for the player that I talked about previously, so that they have some motivation to actually click and do things in the game. Yeah, that's where I'm going to leave this off. I want to work on these things, and I will work on these things with the time remaining. My deadline, I can see it coming up. It's in May 10th. And with all that being said, that's all I have for you guys today. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or feedback that you'd like to give me on what you've seen so far, and I'll try to answer them in the next video or in the comments. Yeah, and hopefully by the next video, I'll have the game released, and so you guys can try it out. Bye!